Welcome back to the Plus Side of Nashville. You know, when it comes to autism, catching it early can make a big difference. But no matter the age of the child, there are treatment options out there. And here to talk more about autism spectrum disorder is Rhonda Manous, who is the Executive Director of Autism Education and Therapy Center, and Mallorie Caradine, who's the Clinical Manager. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
This is such a fascinating topic, and one that I see growing because we seem to hear a lot more and more about families who are dealing with autism. I think it's important for us, Mallorie, to sort of explain what autism spectrum disorder is.
Absolutely. So autism spectrum disorder is going to be a disorder that affects language, communication, and social abilities. So that being said, you may have a child who can communicate but may not pick up on social norms, or you may have a child who, or an adolescent who may not be able to engage in your typical forms of communication, like vocal communication. They may need to use pictures or signs or some other means of communication.
And you all recently started doing diagnostic evaluations.
We did. We realized that there was a tremendous waiting list for children, and as you mentioned, early detection and early services is important. So when they had to wait a year to get diagnosis, so we found Dr. Michelle McAtee is our doctor, and she is able to do all the diagnostic testing necessary to diagnose autism.
That's wonderful. So a growing program means that you all are trying to expand.
Absolutely.
And at this point, you're in your capital campaign phase.
Yeah, we have two facilities right now. One's in Clarksville, Tennessee, and one's in South Nashville, Tennessee. Both of them are at capacity.
Oh.
So we've hired an architect, Manous Consulting and Design, and they have done a wonderful prototype for us. So we're in the midst of the capital campaign to build out these two facilities, which are expected to house up to 50 children in each location.
Wow. Why do you think that this is a growing problem? Is there an answer to that?
So currently there is no known cause for autism. There are a lot of ideas being kicked around, but there's really no way for us to say this is what's causing it. Part of the reason may be just that we are more aware that it's there. Being able to diagnose earlier. I have known adolescents, young adults, and older adults who were diagnosed much later in life. Sometimes misdiagnosis, believing that it's something else. So there's so many different possibilities on why the numbers keep growing, with 1 in 68 children now being diagnosed with autism. It's definitely on the rise.
Yes. You all are not considered a school, right?
No, we tell everyone that we are a therapy center in a school setting. What we do, we have a day therapy program right now, and the children come and they have one-on-one ABA therapy throughout the day. So what we're trying to do is get behaviors under control, because we want to get them back in the typical school setting as quickly as possible. So that's why we put ourselves in a school-like setting, so when the children are mainstreamed into the regular school, they're like, well, I've already seen this. This is what I've been doing for the last couple of years.
I see. Well, I was reading where Tennessee is one of only 4 states that doesn't require insurance companies to cover applied behavioral analysis, but required or not. That's about to change, isn't it?
Well, it's hard to say.
Are we hoping that that's
We're
about
hoping
to change?
that it will say. We've just this year, I mean January 1st, 2018, we've had 2 of the major insurance companies, Blue Cross Blue Shield and Cigna, have decided to voluntarily cover it. So that's been a big deal. I mean, if you had a child on the spectrum and you thought, well, great, I'll just go to the doctor, or in our case, the behavior analyst.
Yeah.
It wasn't covered at all, and that's just heart-wrenching when we have to receive that call and say, well, I'm sorry, but your insurance doesn't cover our services.
What are some of the fundraising activities that you have planned? If people want to know how they can help you to build this extra facility, I know with your capital campaign, don't you have a big event coming up in the fall?
We're coming in August. We don't have it fully vetted out yet, but what we're having to do is probably a golf tournament, and it's going to be with like a concert going on in the thing. But what we need are sponsors that are, you know, help us with the costs of the facility and stuff like that. We're always looking for ongoing donors to help the families. Even though Cigna and Blue Cross have decided to cover it, there's still many insurers that don't cover it. So there are families that don't have any way. So we're always looking for donors to help them to receive the services they need.
Fantastic. Well, I know there's probably someone out there that can relate.
I bet there's a couple.
Everybody knows somebody who
That's
has
right.
a child or their child has some form of autism. We want to talk more and learn more a little bit about exactly what it entails. We've got to take a break. And we'll be back with more to talk more with Rhonda and Mallorie about this when we come back. So stay with us.
Thank you.